What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if the Justice League will die in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So I thought this would be a good topic to do now. Also, one that I think we could definitely revisit, and most definitely will revisit as the years go on, and up until we actually get this game, because I'm sure a lot of different things will change. But it also lets us talk about the characters, who exactly is going to be in there, those old leaks, and maybe discuss if that's going to, actually come to light, actually be the truth and all of that. So really quickly before I jump into that, I do want to promote our Discord server. If you guys have not yet joined, the link for it will be in the description below. We're building a really awesome community over there. Lots of really awesome people. So again, if you guys haven't joined, the link will be down below. All right, so this kind of gives us an opportunity to talk about a lot of different aspects of Suicide Squad. Obviously, if you guys want me to talk about something specific, keep letting me know your suggestions in the comments. I know a lot of you guys already have. Going to be doing loads and loads of videos on Suicide Squad over the, like I said, coming years. So what we got is we know Superman's in the game, right? It's a whole boatload of information right there, but we don't really know all that much past him. Now, remember, there were leaks a few weeks leading into DC fandom, and I warned that, everybody and their mother knows things about these games as we get close to any event. Okay, that's how it always works. And I was very, and still am, by the way, skeptical on those leaks. The leaks that said basically Harley is a DLC character for Gotham Knights, but I believe the leak even said Batman is one of the 4 Gotham Knight, the Bat family members. So right there should probably stop you from believing it's true. But in that leak, they talked about this Justice League game and how they're not going to show Batman. In fact, Batman's not even going to be in it because they don't want to show him be captured or killed. We know that Wonder Woman, we know that Aquaman, we know that, we know the Justice League's going to be in it. Some of them will be killed. Some of them will be captured, and the 3, I believe, is Wonder Woman, Superman, and I believe Flash are the 3 that are not dead, that wouldn't be killed off, that they would just be captured, but maybe they would escape. But the rest of them would be killed, which means like Aquaman, like things like that, we'd have to eliminate Aquaman, which sucks for me, as I love water and I love Aquaman. But like I said, I don't really believe that. So, keeping those in mind, we can keep that in mind and reference that from time to time, but I want to kind of go off on my own here. So, what do we got? Well, a game like this, it's going to be really interesting to see how many they can actually give us. And what makes it tough is we don't know precisely what kind of game this is going to be. We can assume it's close to what, like, the Avengers is trying to do, but Rocksteady themselves said that they are trying to do their own thing. Now, that's what Avengers said, so I'm not going to necessarily believe that, but, I mean, it is their own thing, and we don't have gameplay, we don't have pretty much any system of this game at all, right, of what this game is going to, like, function like, all that kind of stuff, and it comes out in 2 years from now, so it is going to be quite a while of waiting, but my point is, we don't know if it's going to literally be, I don't know, like an open world where there is 4-player, like drop in, drop out, which it seems like there's going to be, and there's like maybe there's like mini bosses. I mean, we see that there are basically kind of like grunts, so like smaller enemy types, right, that we'll be able to fight. So we know that, but are there gonna be like 5, 6 main bosses, and they're going to be kind of like maybe raids like you would do in like a Destiny, or even like maybe like a villain sector if we want to use a recent example of Marvel's Avengers. Now that whole thing goes into a different conversation of why I'm kind of worried about this game, but if we kind of ignore that for now, they do have a lot of potential with these villains, by the way. I think they honestly have enormous potential to make them very cool for us to see them in a very different way. I would prefer that they don't die, but with what they're doing, they completely leave the door open. Now, what was interesting about that leak, what was interesting about the whole lead up to this game was that, again, we thought it was going to be part of the new DC, basically, universe that they're creating with Warner Bros. Montreal. And you would assume any video game, basically, besides Injustice, any other video game would be in that shared universe. And that was the main reason why we all said, well, to kill off the Justice League, there's just zero, and I mean, we made videos about it. You could see numerous people saying, like, yeah, doesn't make sense, not going to happen. You wouldn't take out all of these guys and gals right away when you just started it, and then you wouldn't have them to play around with if you wanted to for future games. You would assume Warner Bros. Montreal's second game, by the way, that they're making right now, like in the background, I assume it is in this universe, and I honestly don't think it's another Gotham Knights game. I don't think they're making Gotham Knights 1 and 2 back-to-back, right? I think they're probably making, or at least I think, or I hope, that they're making like a standalone game, and what could be that is a Justice League member. Just my opinion, but they leave the door completely open now with, the fact that this is the end. No, they didn't say that, and that's important to know too, because it's a continuation of the Arkham story, but that doesn't necessarily, and we've talked about this, right? It doesn't guarantee it's after Arkham Knight. It doesn't guarantee it's before Arkham Knight. Now, that's the way of getting Batman in there, but even the other Justice League members, the thing is, we don't know much about the world from the Arkham games, and I think what the Arkham games did so well, all the Easter eggs, all the references, all that kind of stuff, and yeah, they hinted at like the next game. If you look deep enough, you can see, obviously the blueprints and stuff in Arkham Asylum for like Arkham City. I mean, you can see things even like Arkham City to Arkham Knight. There are a lot of hints there. But what they did in terms of like a larger world building, they didn't really do it, honestly, and that's kind of disappointing. Now, they tried a little bit with Arkham Knight, right? Like Superman is here. So the thing, and why am I saying this? Well, if it takes place before Arkham Knight, I think you have to throw Batman in. I think Batman would be in it, and Superman would be guaranteed to live. I don't know. I feel like it does obviously depend hugely on the story beat of the game, where if the point is that this Suicide Squad that we're dealing with here, if they just flat out don't want to do it, or they have a change of heart, or the general goal is to just get them unpossessed, right? Because it's very clear that the villain of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is not actually the Justice League. It's the mastermind behind it that's controlling them that they need to stop. And so for the Suicide Squad, you are either going to have to kill them if you know what I mean, like if you need to, if that's the only option. I'm sure Amanda Waller will say that. If it's absolutely necessary, you can kill them, but ideally we would like to break them out of the thing. Or the whole goal is to break them out of it, but then the Suicide Squad says, no, we actually want to kill them. Or, reverse of that, Amanda Waller says, okay, there's just no way we're stopping this, kill them. And then the Suicide Squad goes, yeah, but we kind of just like humiliating them. We kind of just like beating them. We don't want to kill them. So we'll stop the mind control, and then we'll just leave them alone. I mean, see what I mean? There's obviously different, arrangements you can go. But with it being in the Arkham world, they definitely allow themselves the opportunity. And I do like that. For as worried as I am on some of the gameplay stuff in terms of like how the villains and all that stuff is even going to work out in this game, the one thing I will give them massive credit for is that's bold, and it's a really cool thing, because you can say, hey, we want to kill off all of them. We want to kill off all of them, and we want a post Arkham Knight world with nobody. I mean, maybe Batman is still out there, but nobody else. They're all dead. And, everybody else, the Suicide Squad is just running, around, right? We want that. Or, no, we can introduce some and we can kill some off, but we can keep others. Or, no, this is a way of getting all of them, and then we keep them all. And a thing you also have to think of that I just thought of now, but I'm sure it's been thought of before, is, look, there's no guarantee Rocksteady's next game. I know, this Suicide Squad game is coming out in 2 years, and I'm already thinking about their next game. But, no, you kind of have to when we're talking about this. Their next game, there's no guarantee that it's also going to take place in the Gotham Knights world. That's why I still am, by the way, a little confused and kind of like laughing in a more like insult kind of way at them in general, because it's like, again, you created this universe, and the rumor was you were both going to be part of it. And I get it. That was a rumor. It's not true. They're the liars. They're the ones whose credibility is hurt. But you still do look at it, and it's like, okay, well, are they really going to just be completely separate? I think it kind of would be fun if every DC game, considering they're all controlled by the same company, if all of them, even though they're different developers, they could play around with the same world and just have different characters. Just make sure you're doing stuff along with the other ones. Use the same voice actors, use the same, looks. Don't obviously make them, unless there's like a time jump or something, don't kill them off without, talking about it with other teams. And teams, by the way, under an umbrella, under a one publisher, they talk to each other. Sony developers talk to each other, Microsoft, Nintendo, Square Enix. Go down the list. They all talk to each other. And sometimes they do it more than others, for sure, but they are able to do that. So there really shouldn't be any reason why this happened. Honestly, I really don't know why this happened, but they leave the door open where if they want to do another game, their next game, and they say, you know what, we want to tackle again the Superman game. We were going to do it, then we stopped, now we're doing this, and now we got the green light, we can do Superman. Well, why not just keep it in the Arkham world? We've introduced him now in Suicide Squad. It would almost kind of be like, remember my pitch was introduce some of the Justice League members in what was Batman Gotham Knights, and I said introduce them in that game, and then that way you can make standalone Justice League games afterwards. It would almost be like that, but using Suicide Squad as your base. If Rocksteady introduces some of these Justice League members and then they don't kill them off, they could use them for, if you want to do Wonder Woman and you want a Wonder Woman game, you introduce her, you do not kill her, and then if you want to do a game with her as the main character, but in the Arkham world, and it wouldn't even be a big deal in that case, right? Like, who really cares? I guess you could say who really cares either way. Even if you do kill her off, you could say, okay, well, she was such a loved character, we want to know more about her, we want to make an entire game about her, we'll make a spin-off game, and we'll just make it a Wonder Woman game. They could do that too. So they're really, they kind of are in a nice spot because they're able to do either or. They could kill everybody and say, we're done, we're going to join Warner Bros. Montreal's universe, or we're done, we're going to make a third universe, or we're not done, we're going to keep going with the Arkham world, even though it doesn't really matter now. It matters right now with Suicide Squad. It wouldn't matter if they said, okay, we're going to do a Superman game or a Flash game, you know what I mean? A standalone game like that wouldn't really matter if you're in the Arkham world or not, and they can choose that. So I would say for story purposes, you do probably want to kill off some Justice League members just to make it, like there's some sort of tension there, there's some sort of pressure. With it being said, we know the lead writer, the person who wrote this game, said it's a very funny game and it's kind of like lighthearted. So I almost wonder if that would just mean that no, they just don't kill off any, you know what I mean? But it'll be interesting because Rocksteady isn't super lighthearted, you know what I mean? They're pretty darn, I don't know, they're kind of like dark. They're not like they're not exactly like Nolan's, Batman trilogy, but they kind of are, you know what I mean? Grounded, like more like that, a little bit darker. They're not afraid to kill off people either. So I really do think they should probably kill off a couple of them. Don't go crazy. I probably won't be happy with it at the end, because if you kill off like someone, really anybody you kill off is going to kind of suck, because if you kill off a Justice League member, it's like, oh, you just introduced them only to kill them off. And that's and you could argue if that's a disservice or not. At the same time, you kind of need to do that, I feel, for story purposes. So it's an interesting discussion, and again, very difficult to talk about it right now. It'll be a whole lot easier as we go over the next couple of years. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Should they kill off some Justice League members? Which one? All of them? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all of these videos go up. And like I said, if you guys have not yet joined our Discord server, the link for that will be in the description below as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.